Hello, everyone. I am Renowned Zero, and we are back talking about all the Rippaverse haters and detractors that we'll essentially be talking about that are coping and seething as we speak all day long over Air July winning the trademark lawsuit. They'll try to tell you that, oh, he's settled. Well, essentially, the lawsuit was about him losing the quote unquote trademark that he was using called ISOM. Meanwhile, moving forward, he's still going to be able to use ISOM on his book. He's still going to be using ISOM as his main hero's name. And I've said this for months, including Nick Rekieta, so I deserve to take my victory lap, as I've been saying for months, that the lawsuit was going to be frivolous. It was going to be a nothing burger. And the fact that the ministry had ISOM as an acronym, right? And ISOM was the name of a hero in a different type of space, the comic book space, right? And that he came up with the name from an ancestor of his. And it wasn't the same. Only if you were ignorant did you think the merchandise between the two were the same. It's never been the case. One's a ministry, one's a comic book hero. So, shout out first to Nerd Newsstand from this comment from 2 weeks ago saying, "Where's the Eric lost big and is a coward?" Well, that's not going to happen because clearly he won the trademark lawsuit. Like I said, even though they'll try to spin it negatively as a settlement, even though no one paid out anything, there's not any proof of anyone paying out anything. It sounds like it's been a mutual understanding and a mutual agreement between the ministry and the Rippaverse. So, again, and I'll say shout out to Vito. I'm wearing my What's Your Favorite Part shirt. I'm sure you're not going to do anything about it. You claim that you would bully anyone or that other people should bully other people for wearing it, essentially, which that'll never happen, especially not with me, especially not with anyone who's actually wearing it, because none of y'all leave y'all houses and none of y'all know how to do anything besides cry on the internet. But we'll start here, of course, selling over 20,000 books, written by the legendary Chuck Dixon and penciled by Joe Bennett, sitting currently at $1.16 million. Our fresh $1.162 million, surpassing the sales goal by 388%. For as much as people like Vito and others like to say that, oh, he crowdfunded this. No, this is his actual money that he put into the company. It was 100K for ISOM 1, 300K for ISOM 2, and 300K for Alpha Core 1. So that's a total of 700K invested into each for all three books, and he's made revenue of 7 million, over 7 million at this point. Because of course, you can't really count the revenue that's been made after the fact that the campaigns end and people are still buying the books. So I digress. You can pick up your books here at the campaign. You can pick up merchandise from the store, of course. But of course, I'm also going to be moving over to Blade Devil 2, Chains of Blood. I've read the first book. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. You can get the first book right here for $10 a piece. And then you can pre-order, essentially, or add to the crowdfund for Blade Devil 2. Multiple different covers, cover A, B, and C, and the limited summer wraparound cover, which I will show the artwork here. You get 69 pages of story and 2 supplemental stories that'll be here and here. Cover A, cover B, cover C, limited summer wraparound. Already picked up all the covers. I am full in on this book. Can't wait to get it. So now, we're going to start here. Of course, listening to the video that Air July has put out about him settling, or essentially winning the trademark lawsuit. And I will give my thoughts, if I have any.
What's up, y'all? I'm Eric July, the founder and owner of the Riververse. Today, I have some fantastic news, but first, let me set the scene. As many of you know, there was an active lawsuit between us and Good Shepherd Ministries. Good Shepherd Ministries was founded in the 1990s by Reverend Dr. Berwin Gilfillan, and he continues as its leader to this day. Good Shepherd has an international school of ministry and registered its trademark ISOM many years ago for its various activities and efforts in its ministries. The Rippaverse has a character by the name of Avery Sealman.
which, by the way, they are a nonprofit.
His heroic name is ISOM, and it is not an acronym. ISOM is named after a real person whose name was Isom Knox,
Which is something I stressed quite a bit about the acronym versus the name.
and is my great 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 grandfather. He was born way back in the 1800s. Some of this dispute played out in public, and of course, everybody had their opinions on what they wanted to be the outcome. Despite this being such a hyper divisive world, two men of God were able to come to a mutually beneficial, simple understanding. There are no losses here, and neither the Rippaverse nor Good Shepherd admit to any wrongdoing.
So, no losses and no wrongdoing.
As this played out, both parties understood that it was best we resolve this outside the courts, especially as Christian men. Let me explain some things. Both Dr. Gilfillan and I wanted to resolve this amicably. And the more we converse, the more obvious the common ground is. They respect our business and what it is that we've accomplished as independents, and the Rippaverse has no issues with Good Shepherd and finds their mission to be admirable. So, regardless of the circumstances that brought us here, we made the most of it. We sought to further
So, regardless of the circumstances that brought them there, they managed to work it out.
ensure the distinction between Good Shepherd's International School of Ministry, ISOM, and the Rippaverse character known as ISOM. Both parties will continue to do their own thing, staying in their own separate and unique lanes. We both have agreed to take steps to avoid any confusion between our respective future uses of ISOM. However,
Which was like the big thing that they always brought up was the fact that there would be brand confusion, which anyone with two eyes and working brain could figure out there really was no brand confusion.
the Rippaverse maintains that there was never any actual confusion in the first place. We only come
There you go.
to this conclusion due to the willingness of both parties to resolve this amicably, and we wish each other well in our respective future endeavors.
And there you go. That's how you handle it like two grown men. Unlike the way people are handling the news of this actually happening for people like Vito, Dick Masterson, Tony, etc. Haters are punching the air right now. You can just hear the goalpost shifting. It's already there. Of course, this person, oh, he settled. Yeah, okay. This person, glad he found advice. Like, bro, the advice literally came from his own lawyers. None of you people out here are lawyers. The only person that was ever involved in all this that was a lawyer was Nick Rekieta. So for y'all to be saying all this and that, like something even I've been saying for months that it was going to be a nothing burger, which I've been the only one that's been saying that, and besides Nick Rekieta. So it's crazy to me how much you weirdos want to do this whole thing about shifting the goalposts and all this other nonsense that you're doing. Because of course, Vito always has something bullcrap to say all the time, even though his book hasn't come out yet. Hashtag when is super killer. It's been 3 years and these grifters are still complaining about a comic book which never even came out. They don't actually read comics, so they can only rehash the same tired examples. Well, for you to sit up here and cry about this, right? Probably didn't watch it. You probably just looked at the thumbnail and made this garbage post, by the way. To which I responded by saying, when is super killer, because the real grift is you still haven't delivered on a product, while Air July has already put out 3 books, and I guarantee he has more long boxes of comics and has read more current garbage than you have. As in, he has read it in the past. For the idiots that tried to get this sort of gotcha on me, right? Past tense. In the past. Of course, people want to say, "Oh, well, why can't you put a book out?" Essentially, insulting Glass House Studios. Apparently, saying, "Oh, they can make things cheap and fast," even though they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. They have absolutely no idea what the page rates are for someone even working for that studio. So they just want to spew stuff at the wall and hope it sticks. And I said, nice whataboutism. I'm not interested in doing it. Also, I never claimed that it was easy. Your room temperature IQ is showing. To which B Chook says, Eric has said he doesn't read comics. To where he says, I cannot hate comics I don't read. As in, he currently does not read modern comics no longer. He has in the past. He has reviews of those garbage modern comics that he used to read. By the way, this is in 2023. This is around a time where he does not read current garbage comics. However, he does cover the news when it comes to garbage comics coming out. He can still do that. He's allowed to do that. It's his channel. He literally has a live stream with Heel versus Babyface called Rip and the Silverback, where they do things like that. That is still allowed. It's not this thing where he can no longer do this because he doesn't read the books. Literally, the material is out there for him to see and for everyone to see how garbage it is. But of course, people like Bumpkins doesn't know that. He's been talking crap about this forever, right? To which I responded, this is why no one takes you idiots seriously, because you all have zero reading comprehension. He clearly says here he doesn't read trash mainstream comics, current dog shit mainstream comics, as in he doesn't read them anymore. Like, there were people that were trying to essentially get this gotcha where I said he has read, as in the past he has read. He no longer reads this garbage. He's more focused on his current product, which is what all you weirdos should be doing. You know, apparently Tony has a comic coming out, yet you're more focused on talking crap about Eric all day. Same thing with Vito. You all do the same exact thing. You sit up here and you talk a bunch of crap rather than focusing on your own product. Pull up and make a book. It's not that hard if Eric can do it. Well, he's essentially hired people to make books. He's hired Mike Barron. He's hired the Saskas to write. He's hired Deborah to do the artwork for Yaira. He's hired Joe Bennett and Chuck Dixon to put them together to make Alpha Core. So, and I said, Mo, what aboutism? Yawn. Get new material. If it's easy, then create a book. If not, shut the fuck up when grown folks are talking. This person saying Eric can't write worth the damn, and whoever they got to do the art also sucks crap, so you ain't really got a lead to stand on. I'm just reading it. Vito sucks. He sucks too. He also likes this movie that no one should like. Clearly, it's paying customers say otherwise. You weirdos really want your opinion to be gospel and to be factual, which I've said this so many times. It's getting old that I have to keep repeating this when it will never be. You people live in a delusion where you can hate something and someone else likes it, but they are wrong because you hate it. It is cool you sit on Twitter all day reply guy for Eric. I really don't. I really didn't spend all day reply guy for Eric. I'm just replying to your BS, which is what I normally do. So what? I haven't been on Twitter much today. It's called having a life. You should try finding one rather than being miserable all day crying about another man's success, because this is essentially what you all do. You essentially sit up here and cry all day. By the way, you decided to tell me you were from Canada, you know, that commie place. You got Quartz Donkey telling me about some Good Omens book, right? You don't have to like it. Okay, I don't like it. I don't like the artwork from Good Omens. Yeah, I'm allowed to not like it, just like you're allowed to not like Isom's artwork or story or whatever. Good for you. However, for about 31 US, you can get a 186-page hardcover instead of 80-page floppy, which Alpha Core is not a floppy. It's a graphic novel. It's not printed on garbage paper. I actually own 4 different versions of Alpha Core, which is all 4 covers, for 27. Also, it made more money than any Rippaverse book. No, it didn't, because I did the math. It was 3 million, and Isom 1 made 3.7. So no, it didn't make more. I said no, it didn't. Isom 1 made 3.7 million. That's not counting the books that sell after the fact. They aren't floppies. They aren't printed on crappy garbage paper, and they are it's supposed to say consider graphic novels. Bad Omens made 3 million in conversion, so no. You're wrong in every statement, and it only took me a few seconds of research to prove you wrong. Also, this appears to be a reprintingable material. He kind of told me it wasn't. It looked like it was. And ISOM 1 and 2 combined are 212 pages, and Alpha Core is 96 pages for 28. Currently, ISOM 1 is $20, which is he was able to reduce the price because he got better printing deals because, again, he was a new company. So, of course, he have to charge a little more. I'm sure someone will watch this and say a bunch of nonsense in my comments like they think they know stuff. Also has twice the backers, which is also incorrect. I said, gosh, I never realized 42K was smaller than 36K. Wow, you are retarded. And I'm done with this conversation because ISOM number one had 42,000 purchasers to Good Omens 36K. This is not counting the people that bought the book after the campaign ended. Cope. Just cope. Oh, by the way, if you're going to say there's no hype, Ripperverse trends literally every week. 7 million to make 3 whole comic books. Wow, you mean he made $7 million of revenue? Have you made any? You made what, 77K, maybe 80K on Super Killer, and you haven't delivered a product yet. So you have nothing really of value to put in here. The goal for ISOM 1 was 100K, ISOM 2 300K, Alpha Core 1 was 300K. You can't math, can you? That's 700K, 7 million in revenue, not counting books sold after the campaigns end. You wish you could touch that kind of money in your lifetime. This sounds like cope. Hashtag when is super killer, because that's a hashtag I'm really trying to get trend. So anytime you see Vito say anything nonsensical about ISOM, that's what you respond with. When is super killer? Something very harmless, by the way. This was the person who tried to get a gotcha, by the way. Okay, there were reviews in his channel, you moron. I said, has read. This was past tense. He has read more current garbage than Vito, because I'm sure he has, because he's done reviews on his channel of current modern garbage in the past. If Eric isn't reading mainstream comics, then he has no real business critiquing them. In which I say, if you haven't released Super Killer, then you have no real business critiquing his work. Also, he has been covering it. It's hot garbage. Hashtag when is Super Killer. Shout out to Vincent Martin. Yeah, I'm interested in that too. Him saying it was inspired by Gantz has my hopes up. Let's hope that his comic can even be half as good as that manga series. If not, it's a total letdown. Even if it is good, just good in a different way to Gantz. See, now Gantz is fantastic. As far as the anime, I've never read the manga though. I heard the manga is fantastic though. This person, Isam the Hedgehog, he says if he doesn't read them, how can he say they're trash? And I say, I remember a certain rabbit-faced weirdo say Isam was trash without reading it, and even after quote reading it, still not understanding it because he asked questions that were answered in the book. This is because his reading comprehension is that of a first grader, just like the rest of you retards. You guys have no sense of reading comprehension. And this right here was something that Vito agreed with, by the way. The new Coco Lane on Netflix has a boy in a dress dance for his two gay dads. And he said, he says, I genuinely can't believe I live in an era where thousands of people are upset about this. To which I responded by saying, you wonder why people continue to call you the things that they do. You have terrible takes like this one. This was your response to this. I just had to throw that in there. Again, person highlighting that I say he doesn't read trash mainstream comics, to which I said one screenshot is in the past tense and one is current. You really have zero reading comprehension. This being the current thing that Eric currently doesn't read mainstream comics where he read it in the past tense. He read it in the past. No longer reads it. Although he can still cover it because again, the images of those garbage books are out there. They're not hard to find. I could easily cover how garbage it is. So you can't critique comic books unless you yourself have released a comic. Well, you delete your channel. I was like, you mad, bro? You'll be extra mad when you find out Eric won the lawsuit. Stay mad, soy boy. Hashtag win is super killer. And of course, he tried to say this crap about how people would say he's mad that or whatever. I'm like, yeah, you've been coping all day. You've been coping literally all day. Just talking your nonsense all day. None, he's too busy sucking off Eric every day. And bro, it's like it always dissolves into like some gay thing every time. It's like I've heard this so many times, bro, it doesn't affect me no matter how many times you want to say it or anyone wants to say it. I'm a grown ass man. This crap doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect me whatsoever. If only that were true, I'm sorry you like projecting your gay fantasies onto me, but I'm perfectly fine with you being gay. That's perfectly fine. It's already starting. So he screenshots me because he's been screenshotting me all day. Rather than quote tweeting like a man, and you're a whole bitch because we already know this. Cope to your heart's content, bitch. Screenshot whatever you have to, whatever helps you sleep at night. Hashtag win a super kill. I'm gonna continue to do it because I know it makes you upset. Hey, that's me. It's like, yeah, because they're trash and has plenty of them. Because they're trash and has plenty of them. Why do you cry about Eric so much if you don't care about what he's doing? Why do you care? Vito says, I have started a much better comic franchise. I'm like, the one that isn't released? Hashtag win a super killer. The amount of cope in your tweets are great. I've also started a much better comic franchise. This is the I am Spartacus meme, which is great. That's a great meme for this situation right here. Because for you to start a better comic franchise than someone else, you have to put a book out first, which you still have not put a book out. Because this is how you just choose to spend your time. You choose to spend your time worrying about someone else. No matter how many times even Eric has said, focus on your own stuff and deliver your product. You still choose to do this. And this is why no one has the product yet. Because you're sitting up here crying about Eric every single second of your life. Congrats to Eric for taking my advice and handling the legal matter privately, then continue to spur on the public square and go on embarrassing rants about gay ops and fake Christians. Yeah, this is something that his lawyers probably told him to do. You know, the rock star lawyers that you and Dick Masterson continue to make fun of. Bro, you're not a lawyer. You are a nobody. Besides a crying little baby back bitch on the internet. The amount of coping and seething both you and Dick are showing right now is quite glorious. Trying to take credit for the way Eric handled it is even funnier. Hashtag win is super killer. Because that's all I really have to say to you is win is super killer. Yes, I'm coping and seething about Eric privately settling a lawsuit in the exact manner I told him to do months ago. Again, he's not going to take your advice because you're a nobody. Yup, you are crying about a quote unquote settlement that ended in no one paying anything to anyone. They had a mutual agreement to coexist. Eric July getting to keep the name for ISOM, which is what what retards like you have consistently wanted to happen. Hashtag win a super killer. I told him to do it months ago. You being someone who is unqualified to tell him to do anything while trying to claim victory. Shut the fuck up when grown folks are talking and lose some more weight. You have too much soy flowing through your body. And then here you go. Here's Dickie Boy Masterson crying over here. God damn, Eric, late again. Stop spurging about Vito and start paying Isom what you owe them. It's Christmas after all. It's the season of giving. This is a concern troll. And this is a man who's still crying months later about being called the N-word. He literally cried on another live stream about that. Get over it. You're in your 40s crying like a baby back bitch to other grown men. He didn't win. He conceded something, money, a title change, something, so that the matter could get resolved. That's a goalpost shift, and you're coping. Yeah, none of those things happen unless you could present some proof. He lost nothing. To which he says, "Can you present proof that he didn't concede anything?" He literally put up a video saying so. Somehow he had to give something up out of it. Cope. You were the one making the claim. You've presented nothing. Don't make a claim and then don't present proof. And I love to check motherfuckers like you who like to sit up here and make claims. And then when I check you on your proof, you ain't got shit to say. Because that's exactly how I handle each and every one of y'all. You say a bunch of nonsense, I check you on your evidence and your proof, and then you get nothing to say. You got nothing to show for it. If my comic book company had fans this stupid, I would know I'd done something horribly wrong. If you had a comic book fan like me, I would be spending more money than any one of your backers have spent. I can guarantee you that. But you know why you don't have a comic book fan like me? Because you act like a bitch all day. You act like a bitch all day. You sit up here and cry about other grown men that are more successful than you rather than, again, working on your own product. And this is why you ain't got a fan like me. I guarantee I'm smarter than you in every single aspect of life. Because as much as people want me to go on live streams with them to talk their nonsense, what do I always tell them? I got better things to do and I'm working on my own content for the people that are watching my channel. And I appreciate everyone who subscribes and views my channel because that's how you do it. You humble yourself and you tell your viewers you appreciate them rather than you sitting up here not completing a product and then your fan base or whatever you have is okay with them, okay with waiting for a product that you're literally sitting up here crying about Eric July rather than working on that product, and you're making them wait for a product. I could see Yaira coming out before Super Killer. I could even see Gooding coming out before Super Killer at this point because of how far back you pushed it to Q2 2024. To which I respond, you still haven't put out a book. You hang around actual retards who are irrelevant just like you. You're pretty stupid for crying about another man being successful in the comic industry. Also, you're a huge pussy because rather than quote tweet, you screenshot. I'm smarter than you in every aspect of life, considering after all your shit talking, I'm going to monetize all of it as I am now. You clearly weren't smart enough to put out a book before you started talking shit, and I guarantee I put more money into indie comics than you have. Get fucked, you absolute salty bitch. Continue to cope and see. Hashtag win a super killer. This person says, oh, he settled, right? He lost. I said, what win? Thanks for playing. The ISOM name is still going to be used in ISOM 3 and beyond. So I don't know what win you thought you were getting or someone got, right? So Eric July is setting his trademark lawsuit just like, again, trying to take this bullshit concern trolling that you somehow put it out there that you did this, right? Shout out to Double Brewski says, I can't imagine having such a low IQ as to think that the International School of Ministry would have anything to do with a comic book character created by the YouTube. It must be hard for you guys. It is absolutely hard for them. Absolutely hard for them. Because he even says this, Eric July is such a piece of crap for calling ISOM fake Christians. Again, concern trolling. You don't give a crap about the ministry. You don't give a crap about Eric July's business. You want it burnt to the ground and gone because of my bad art. Or because he's more successful than you, because you think that he doesn't deserve it. Go fuck yourself. All of his cocksucker friends would just give him a pass, though. Oh well, at least Isom gets a court-ordered non-apology. Again, you're a loser. I'm actually seething at the Eric July settlement. This is probably a troll post anyway. Lawsuit would have been so funny. Oh well, show tomorrow. Yeah, because that's all you can do. All you can do is cope and seethe. That's literally all you can do. So now, right, we're going to move over to Tony's bitch ass. Because you want to sit up here and say, Eric July is selling out Kissing Rear in the mainstream. Because he's having a cordial agreement with Gail Simone and Eric July. Of, Gail Simone telling you you're a weirdo, essentially. You got called out by what they would consider a comic book pro. Saying that she don't know what your deal is because you're acting like a weirdo. And I don't care if you take this video and do what you have to do and make your little content. You go right ahead. I don't care. Culture War, another person, again, who doesn't focus on his own stuff, right? I guess you failed that kindness tour for the year since you want to be out here talking your bull crap again. Here's your full thread. Some weird dude is trying to start beef with me and Eric July. No idea why. I swear to God, isn't there enough real animosity in the world? I don't have beef with anyone. No beef here, Eric. No idea what this guy's deal is for sure. No beef at all here. Being cordial with Gail Simone. Now Eric July could absolutely hate every piece of material that Gail Simone puts out. But it doesn't mean he can't be cordial with the person themselves if they're being cordial back. Right? Because that's how adults handle their problems. They're typically cordial with people who are also cordial, which is something that you don't know how to deal with. You don't know how to do that, Tony. You know how to act like a bitch all day, cry about other people all day, because that's all you know how to do. You have to say it twice. Yeah. At the end of the day, this is exactly how you act. Eric July goes woke. It's this another weirdo, right? Another weird dude who just talks crap about Eric all day, even though he has a dead irrelevant channel like every other person, right? It's not out yet. It's not gonna be out for a while. You trying to flex some of your money, like, dude, this is chump change. This is actually lower than the last time you showed your money. Just saying. It's funny how you showed 1,600, now somehow it's at 1,270, because that wasn't really how much you were making. You dumb son of a bitch. You truly believe that, don't you? He didn't gain or lose anything. Just make a video about it, okay, bud? It'll make you feel better. Yep, that's exactly how it will be. Out of court settlements are a thing, dipshit. Yeah. Again, Cope. Did you find a stone? Like your wife's boyfriend when he sees you jerking off in the corner. Like, dude, your comebacks are terrible. You don't even have anything here. Again. And then you retweet actual cuckdom over here. Like, you don't have anything. You're just coping. Congrats on protecting your trade. They didn't protect anything. He still gets to use the ISOM name. You idiot. Like, we could do it live. I'll do it live right now. Where is it? No party admits to any wrongdoing. For further clarification, we'll be moving forward. Isom and his name will remain as such. Nothing has changed in terms of the ownership. It's the Ripper versus character. All is great, and we're continuing on with Isom 3. So at the end of the day, all you bitches are just going to cope and seethe all damn day, continue to cry, make your stupid videos, and then you're going to continue to cry in the corner because you realize you can't do anything to stop the Ripperverse. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit the like button. Comment below if you feel all this. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you get notifications and post a new video or live stream. Check out the links in the description, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.